Good morning once again. You know what time it is. It's the Hot Tea Podcast. Hot Tea Podcast presents. Let me get that right. Football Talk. I'm your boy Shawn Xavier, along with Eric, Earl, and Dave will be joining us shortly. And of course, if already this is your first time, make sure you join us each and every Sunday at 9:30-ish as we go through all our pregame stuff, college football recaps, and everything in between, man. Of course, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Tea Podcast. And we're streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube, as well as our Twitch TV channel. What's up, gentlemen? How we doing?
What's going on? What's going on?
Welcome, man. Week 2 is upon us. More like week 5, 7, 12, whatever week it is in college football space there. How's your weekends been so far?
Great. Yesterday was a vibe. Went to the HBCU Classic.
Okay.
Out at Giant Stadium, aka MetLife Stadium.
Okay.
Dope.
Okay. How was that?
It was good. I ain't going to the game, just parking lot.
Okay.
I stayed in the parking lot.
Did I see you in the video with a bunch of other folks and you didn't even have your letters on?
Nah. Why I need my letters on?
I just asking the question. I mean, I saw all the other people inside your video and they had theirs on. I just kind of noticed that you were just kind of chilling sitting there.
I had my UMES shirt on. That's what I had.
All right, fair enough. All right, I can rock with that.
And I wear my wristband all the time. I'm not a Neo B. You know what I'm saying?
What a Neo got to be doing with what you wearing?
I'm not a.
All right, that's what we're doing. We're just gonna get an early morning fight.
It's not a Neo. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Tough stuff.
Yeah, okay. Man.
How was yours, Eric? How was yours?
So shout out to my sorors and Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Went to their wind down, the annual wind down that they have down here every year.
Okay.
The event sold out. They sold 400 tickets. So it was straight up lit. I mean, it was off the chain there. I did have on, my letters to represent what was going on out there. I had my custom shirt on, so I had my colors and everything with it. Okay. I'm not a Neo either, but I still decided I was gonna wear my colors to the event. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
I don't know what that means. It's supposed to be a shot.
Okay, fair enough, man. I just stayed in the house and tried to not cough my lungs up. It was like weird, man. Like I was. Funny thing, we moved to.
You got that vid?
Nah, man.
Is that a Nike shirt on?
It's a hoodie, man.
Is that a Nets hoodie?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
No, it's actually a Washington Wizards hoodie, actually.
First of all, yo,
give
yourself a round of applause for wearing Nike.
I see the star in the middle and everything. Yeah,
press the button for a round of applause.
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't do it.
I am not engaging in this buffoonery, man.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Don't do it.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Don't do it.
What's up, Kaleo, man? The guys from the We Are Something Else podcast, man. How you doing? Man, I was Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was, man. I was in my bout just fine. I was feeling good in the backyard. I got good grass for everybody who knows. And I decided to set up my golf practice net and everything else. I was just feeling fine. I had me a nice little glass of Puerto Rican rum. And I was swinging. It's cool. And then I go inside the house, man. And like 10 minutes later, all of a sudden I get like this little twinge in my throat. All of a sudden, I was like, what the hell is happening? All of a sudden my throat's scratching. The next day, man, bro, like I don't typically have allergies, but I will say that man, that shit is horrible. Like I get sinus infections and stuff like that. And that was like, this has been me for like the last day. I spent all of Batman Day yesterday. Shout out to everybody who participated in any of the festivities.
Oh, Shawn, pause for the cause. And,
Dave.
Hit up Dave.
There he is. All right, I got him.
All right, continue with your Batman Day.
So I mean, shout out to everybody who participated in Batman Day, but I couldn't really do nothing, man, because I was all tricked up yesterday, man. That it didn't feel too hot at all. So anyway, we're gonna do this anyway. We're gonna do this anyway, man. So of course, man, welcome to Football Talk, man. Let's jump right into it. College football weekend. I know Earl just said he was at the HBCU Classic. Eric, did you watch any football games yesterday?
Oh man, look, I watched probably the best team in college football yesterday.
Who?
App State, son.
Yes, I was just let's talk about App State, man. Let's talk about App State one time.
Best team in college. I mean, they're not, best team as far as being #1 overall, like best talent across the board. but they're the best. They're the best team to watch right now in college
Man.
football. I've actually seen all 3 weeks that they played
Yes.
so far, and they should
Yes.
be 3-0 because they
Yeah.
shouldn't have lost that game to Carolina in
Right.
the first game
If
of
it
the
wasn't for that
season.
2-point conversion, yeah.
Yeah, the dude dropped it. I mean, the ball is right there. He just
Right.
dropped it in the end zone. You figure if they had to do that over probably what 7
Yeah.
out of 10 times, they would have probably
Yeah.
converted that.
Yeah. It was that, man. And then of course you saw the upset on Texas A&M down in College Station. And then yesterday they were down to Troy. That game should have been over because the 2 plays before the miraculous play
Should have
that
been an
happened at the end
interception.
should have been an interception.
Mhm.
And so they throw what is, pretty much like a Hail Mary into the end zone. It's short of the goal line. It gets
He
tipped up in
batted
the air. He batted it. App State player picks it up, runs it in, touchdown, walk off, game over. That's
On the
just
last play of the game, while they had the ESPN crew out there for college game day,
right.
they had to be lit. Like, wow.
In Boone, North Carolina, if anybody's wondering where it is. App State, man, but
Mountains.
they doing it, man. They're that team that they gonna come out there and fight each and every week. And I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
Shout out to Michigan for putting them on the map 15 years ago.
Oh my God.
That's what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna start this
I
off.
mean, it wasn't a shot. It's facts. I'm not doing the Shawn. We need to fact check. Just put it out there.
Oh my God, man. Welcome, Dave. And of course, if you guys aren't streaming already, wake somebody up, nudge them, something like that. Let them know we're live across all 3 of our platforms: Twitch TV, YouTube, Facebook Live. You can find us. You ain't got to log in or nothing. Just plug on in. We got the links out there for you. So from one great team, as far as their energy and their grit, to a team that I went to bed last night feeling worse than I already felt physically. I went out of disgust. I waited all
Watch
day.
your Miami Hurricanes.
I waited all day to watch this damn game. And if you guys saw my takes from a few months ago about Mario Cristobal and see what they're gonna do with the squad. Granted, they do have a lot of young receivers, but man, they threw up all over themselves in that game against Texas A&M. I have not seen such a badly coached and executed team, and things are all good when you're playing Bethune-Cookman and all these, not even mid-major teams, as Earl would say, ICDC college type teams.
Yeah,
You blowing them out.
Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful.
But
for real, yo, MEAC school is
watch
a
your mouth,
real
man.
university,
no,
dog.
no. What I'm saying
MEAC
is,
and SWAC team. I'm be trying to put
watch
our
your-
HBCUs in the same category with that
Nah,
link you went to.
got a football team,
okay. In any case,
right?
the point being,
Because your school don't got a football team, no sports teams.
true. But in any case, the fact that it's easy to run up a score on these teams, man, that really aren't equipped to compete with you like that. And then when you get on the big stage against another ranked
watch your
team,
mouth,
which has been like the theme for the last few years for Miami.
Dion team be competing with people.
They do. But we're talking about Miami right now, and the fact that they just pooped all over themselves last night.
We feel like you still throwing shots towards our HBCUs.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, not at all. But I did watch. I did watch them play against Bethune-Cookman.
Are better than the Canes right now.
As far as execution was, I would say that. I would say you're not too wrong on that one. How was your weekend, Dave? I know you out there living a good life and everything else in between.
Yeah, just quick getaway.
Yeah, true.
The connection messed up. I'm trying to keep it going strong. So.
Fair enough. I know you didn't watch any college football, but I'm pretty sure you probably
Nah.
checked in on your Michigan Wolverines yesterday.
I did not.
You did not. Okay. You did lose your backup quarterback, McNamara.
He was a starter.
I'm about to say, was he really your backup quarterback? I mean, they were starting every other game.
They don't have a starter.
Yeah.
They were kind of doing that Tom Brady and Drew Henson type thing.
The last game, but yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing what seems to be what San Francisco is about to do.
Apparently.
Shot.
That ain't too far. That ain't too far off.
Hey, look, the Jets might have to do that too.
Yeah.
Facts.
Speaking of college football, man, any other games that stood out yesterday? I mean, Alabama did what they did. Georgia did what they did.
What was I watching? The Syracuse-Purdue game. I don't know if y'all saw that one, but that was a wire burner too.
I didn't catch that one. I was trying to catch the Notre Dame game because that coach is on a hot seat, and they were down at one point. I'm trying to see, did they end up winning that game?
Yeah, they won.
Okay,
Yeah,
they
they
did.
won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about being on the hot seat. They can't, they go down 0-4. Yikes. Yikes, my
Right.
friend.
I'll tell you what,
So
LSU was in a tight game too at the end of that third quarter. The LSU came on the fourth quarter. They just kind of like opened it up on Mississippi State.
yeah, they did. They did because that was a close game, and all of a sudden it was like
Yeah.
I turned away because I'm looking at the Miami game, and I'm like, oh, okay, this got interesting real fast. And then USC as well, um, as pointed out by Kaleo just now. So it wasn't like it was one of those
LSU
crazy. It
was
wasn't
blowing
like the
them
first
guys
week.
open the door.
Yeah. It was. We're gonna see how things gonna look as they get into conference play. But I'll say, a couple of teams that you don't know who, besides your top teams, your Georgia, your Alabama, your Michigan. Who's the 3 team in the country? Am I missing somebody? Who's number 3? Is who the hell is number 3 in the country? That's a
That is good. Is it Ohio State?
yeah. That might okay. They might be Ohio State. I think that may be Ohio State. Those the top 4 pretty much doing it. I don't see nothing just really going crazy yet. I will say that
It's Ohio State.
Texas, okay, Texas are now up to 21. So of course, even after their close lost they almost upset to Alabama, Texas is now ranked. So let's talk about
I'm
Texas.
about to say they was unranked when they played.
They were,
them.
yeah, when they played them, and sure, now they are ranked. Now yesterday they end up beating UTSA. I think it's University of Texas San Antonio,
Texas,
or
San
whatever.
Antonio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
41-20. And they were now was they got the Longhorn Network, and I have that up as well. I mean, I have that subscription as well because I just like tapping into all this different stuff that's going on. But they looking pretty good. So let's talk about them a little bit because if you guys didn't see, I'm pretty sure you saw these guys, and that's what I'm looking for. Can you hear me, Dave?
Dave, you on mute.
He on mute.
Yeah.
There he is. So let's talk about the money. If you guys didn't see, Texas was pretty much cashing out. The headline says Arch Manning, and then pretty much, but it was actually Arch Manning and 8 other recruits as Texas spent a little over $250,000 on a recruiting trip for a weekend. If you don't know who Arch Manning is, yes, he's another Manning. So in roughly about
$250,000. Wow.
Yeah, about 3 years from now, roughly, unless he stay all 4, we'll probably see another Manning in the league. The kid is nice. I mean, he comes from great lineage, even down to Cooper Manning. And then of course you got, the dad. You got Archie Manning, then you got one of the goats, Peyton, then you got Eli, the goat killer. And I was still trying to figure out what first of all, Texas has unlimited money. If you haven't seen, look at the Cowboys. It's damn ridiculous. But 280 grand they sent on this college weekend, which included a trip to Top Golf, almost 30 grand on this big buffet that they actually had at the field at the stadium. This like real extravagant dinner at Coach Sarkisian's crib, and a bunch of other stuff. Mind you, they spent about 630,000 in June on about 14 other recruits. So they don't even have to hide it no more.
Like 16 other recruits, and they end up getting like 14 out of the 16 that committed.
Yeah. So they loading up, and this might have been what Saban was afraid of or referring to, because you don't have to hide it anymore. The NIL and all this other stuff has opened them up, and it's like, hell, we ain't gotta hide the money we spend. And now they got the top, I believe he is the top recruit in all the nation, in Arch Manning, coming their way, man. So what you guys think, man? What you guys what's your take on it? What you got? What you think?
It's like you said, it was only a matter of time. Like I said, now it's just the fact that they don't have to hide it. It's not like it ain't been going on. It's just that teams had always been looking at a way to work around it without being so obvious about it. And now it's like, sure, we're just gonna put it out there and we're gonna say this is what we did. The interesting part was I think they were saying like the spending last year was only like $1.2 million for their whole recruiting last year, as compared to somebody like Alabama that had spent, I think, like $6 million, something like that. It was something ridiculous in the disparity of how much one team spent to the other. So I guess Texas now is kind of like, well, we can do it. Let's just do it. I mean, because think about it. Like I said, they got the Longhorn Network. So Texas has the money that they could always have been doing it. I just think that they just weren't actually putting that type of money out. And I think now they're just like, if we're going to contend, especially with all these conferences, that are pretty much disappearing before our eyes and all this realignment and everything that's going on, and Texas is one of the teams that's moving, right?
Yeah, they're going to the SEC in a couple of years.
I think they figured that look, if we don't spend it now, we're gonna fall behind. And if you don't catch up now to these SEC schools, you don't want to be coming in, behind somebody like Vanderbilt. I
Right.
mean, granted, obviously Texas is better than Vanderbilt. It's just, in theory, you don't want to go into the SEC, looking that way. If you come to the SEC when you already know that Ole Miss is on to come up, Mississippi State was
Mm-hmm.
somewhat is up and down team, but LSU is about to be on the come up again,
Right.
because of what's going on. So if you Texas, you like, we want to already come in at that LSU level and then run from there to try to make our run up towards Alabama and Georgia.
Absolutely.
You got to set your bar somewhere. You don't want to be, down in the bottom half with those South Carolinas and stuff like that of the SEC.
It's crazy, man. Like the amount. I mean, football is king in that part of the country, man. And like to the realignment bit, at this point now, it don't even matter where you are geographically stationed as far as your school, because you can be like, well, I know Maryland moved over to the Big Ten, but Big Ten for the longest time was like those Midwestern teams and stuff like that. It's people just after a while you have Hawaii playing in the ACC or some crazy shit like that. Ain't no telling. Anybody else? I mean, what's your take on your squad? What about your Rutgers squad? Earl, I know that ain't they ain't a football school per se. Not really. Nah.
I think, didn't the coach just become the
Time
winningest
out.
coach in Rutgers history?
Yeah,
Earl?
time out. I'm sorry. Yo, first of all, it's mad disrespect going on this morning.
Oh my God.
Well, let's cut that shit out. Okay.
Oh my God.
Second of all,
I'm serious. Like I said, you think of football before you think of Rutgers, I would think. I mean
yes,
basketball
you
before
do.
football. Sorry.
No, you don't.
Okay. Maybe
No,
I'm
you
wrong.
don't.
Okay.
And we 3-0. Okay, what's Miami right now?
No, yeah.
Oh, all right then. All right then. And matter of fact, if we ever played y'all, especially this year, we'll beat your ass. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I got no comeback.
Y'all ain't what you used to be. Okay.
I mean you take that back to like the early 2000s.
All about you.
I ain't what y'all used to be.
Yeah,
man, I'm happy with us. We about to get into our the conference games this week. Well, this coming week.
Okay.
So yesterday they struggled a little bit with Temple, but they beat them. The week before that they killed Wagner.
Hey, Earl. Hey, on the flip side, you know who y'all beat, right? You know what that quarterback for Temple was, don't you? Kurt Warner's son.
Oh, for real?
That was his first collegiate start.
Oh wow. They they got away from that one narrowly.
True. Either way, like the weekend wasn't, like I said, the weekend didn't give us like nothing too crazy to lead into. As we in a conference, conference schedules, then you'll start to see people separate each other. I know we still got a couple of years before we get to the big tournament, but with all the money being doled out and stuff like that, it's gonna be interesting when they get to this whole 12-team playoff type thing. Of course, I can see it being very top heavy with a lot of SEC teams. As you can see, no longer is going to be just an Alabama and a Georgia. You'll see an Alabama, Georgia, Texas, maybe a LSU in there. It's gonna be interesting to see.
It's gonna be at least a quarter of the playoffs is going to be SEC.
Right.
Instead of they're doing it with the top 8 ranked teams or the 12 ranked teams.
12 I think it was. Wasn't
yeah,
it?
and I think if I'm correct, I think it's like the all conference winners. Yeah, I think it's all conference winners, I believe.
Yeah, I kind of wish they found
there's some group of 5 winners.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If Appalachian State has showed you anything, and not every team is built with that same type of moxie and grit as Appalachian State, any given Saturday or Sunday, have they put it up? This all it takes, man. In some cases, like if you get the right team, some of those big boys can be knocked off, man.
I kind of wish it was set up more like NCAA basketball, college basketball, or whatever. But because like at least that way, and I know like the
teams,
it would be, it would be, but I mean it's a lot of teams, a lot of games in college basketball. You know what I'm saying? But
not the same physicality.
Yeah. I get it. I get like
you have to cut the season back too in order to start the playoffs earlier.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I said that's why I say it may not be the same, situation, but I wish they found a way, because then that way it'll get more exposure to like some of these low, major schools, the mid majors, and lower tier schools.
Yeah.
And also too, like what makes March Madness so great is that every now and again you can get a 16 seed that'll knock off a number 1. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes that fun. Nobody wants to keep seeing the number 2 team play the number 3 team, or these close and skilled, caliber teams play each other. Like we know what that's gonna yield. We want to fight. We want to see the underdog. Even if they get blown out, just the fact that they made it there, like that, even brings notoriety to the school and even to the fan base. So, I mean,
I think that's why they're stretching it out to 12, but I don't think they're going to get that.
No. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know how they would do it.
You're just going to see an extension of the powerhouses.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do it, but I think if they want to maximize this, there's a lot of smart people in there. They figure it out somehow. I don't have the answers, but I think that's the end goal is to end that way, because I think that's a better showing. But that's just me.
Go. Of course, man. Of course, you guys are watching live. The Hot Seat Podcast presents football talk across all 3 of our streaming platforms: Twitch TV, YouTube, Facebook Live. Hey, tap in with us, man. If you're on there right now, hey, reach out to somebody, share the link, whatever we're here. So from college football over into NFL football, and we always want to lead in with the Thursday night game itself. The recap. So we had what was we thought it was going to be a much, much, much better game, but it was still a good game all in all. That between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Of course, in the end, Kansas City ends up winning this game, but it didn't come without its share of, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, a couple of injuries here and there. But I think at the beginning last week, I was saying a coach that was in the pressure cooker to succeed, and that was one Brandon Staley. Man, the Chargers, I feel like should have won this game, but they just didn't. I don't know if it with the Keenan Allen injury and whatnot being, I don't know if that added to it, but yeah, this ain't go how it should have went. Floor is yours, fellas. What we got?
I mean, I don't think it was necessarily that. Honestly too, they got to balance their offense out a little bit more. Like they need to get that run game together.
Who for the Chargers?
For the Chargers, man. Because like they put in, and especially too, when Keenan Allen is out and you're like riding on the back of Williams. Like Williams had a good game,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's you got to spread that offense out.
Like, I actually think that it went the way it was supposed to go.
Okay.
I mean, I had the Chiefs in that one anyway, so I thought it went the way it was supposed to go. I think it's kind of almost like, the reference, Dave's greatest player, and Michael Jordan, like he had to deal with his lumps when it came to dealing with Detroit, So I mean, I think that the Chargers at this point where they got to battle that. Like, I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes. He still owns the AFC West.
Oh, absolutely, he do.
No matter what else. And my thing is, everybody's predicted, Chargers the best team. Denver's going to be so much better. The Raiders. All right, that's cool. We hope that every team gets better. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's still king of that division until he ain't.
Ever since he touched the field.
Yeah, Brady was king of the AFC East, for decades. So, I mean, that's just Patrick Mahomes owns that until he doesn't own it anymore. Everybody thought last year was the big fall because how bad they started. And then he turned it on and said, wait a minute, I thought I was Patrick Mahomes. And then what did he do? Got to his 4th AFC championship game. So, I mean, until he doesn't reach that point, I don't think people can automatically supplant him by saying that the Chargers are the best and that Herbert is, the MVP, future MVP come up this season. I'm sorry, until Patrick shows otherwise, my money still will be on Patrick Mahomes over Herbert.
I mean, Herbert nice though.
I definitely piggyback off of what Eric just said. Everybody was talking about the Chiefs. Oh my God, Tyreek Hill is gone. All these type of things. The person that delivers that ball makes a difference. True. And he delivers that ball in so many different ways. Did you see that throw when he went like left, right, and then threw the side arm and it went behind one of the players perfectly and curved?
Dude, it looked like a basketball pass. He looked like he on a basketball court and he just dished it down.
Those are passes that he practiced too as well, which is crazy.
I'm like, this is sick. So, and I think you're gonna see like some of these receivers that were okay, other places like Juju, they're gonna shine, man. There's so many weapons. Yeah, you go double up Juju. We got Kelsey that we can throw it to. You go double up. There's not gonna be enough people. Valdez Scantling is over there. Hardman is gonna be roaming. Like there's so many weapons, bro. Right. There's so many weapons. Now on the Charger side of things, Justin Herbert is a beast, but I agree with Earl on this side of things. I I think their play calling and how they use their roster, especially on offense, is confusing because it looks like they want to key in on like one, maybe two players
Right.
the whole game. And I'm like, bro, you got Eckler back there that
Yes.
does nothing but score touchdowns.
Yep.
Roll him out. Roll him in that like those sweep patterns and stuff like that. Like I don't sometimes I don't understand the play calling that goes on. I know this one was a little bit different because they didn't have Keenan Allen there, so they were really focusing with Mike Williams and everything else like that. But this is a consistent thing. This was all last year.
Yep.
I did pick the Chiefs to win, so once again, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I liked Justin Herbert's gut at the end because, bro,
he was hurt, bro.
He was hurting, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was hurting. Like he could hardly move that side of his whole body. And they knew it. And they were coming in to smack him. So I just hope they don't waste his years, man.
And that's what I was going to get to. I feel like, man, once you get somebody that has one of these all-world talents, and a lot of time it's around the quarterback. You know, they're the driver of this bus, and they tend to forget about utilizing the other things that allows that quarterback to be great. Yeah, Eric said, he thought it would go that way, but I'm gonna lean with Earl on this one. Just from if you're going off of this a stat aspect, just stats. I know it's just stats. So if you're looking at, of course, Kansas City had to put 14 points up in the fourth. It came out to the fourth quarter. They had to put 14 points up in the fourth quarter. But if you're looking at time of possession, 33 minutes to 26 minutes. You're looking at rushing. Now, rushing is the thing to keyed out. Chargers had just over 70 yards of rushing. The Chiefs had over 90 yards of rushing. So what does that really mean? The way that the Chiefs, which have never been really that rushing style team, but they find other ways to execute it. The Chargers have, by default, a better rushing team and a better defense. But the way, to your point, they had Justin Herbert throwing. He did throw for 300 plus yards. But
Andy Reid.
Exactly. But he also, if you look at it, Pat only put up 235 yards of passing, but they were quality passing yards. You had Justin who put up just over 300, but they were, I like to call them like empty passing yards because there's a lot of passing, but it's not really equaling to nothing. It was a lot of wasted downs and a wasted series, which, if you guys know, the Kansas City Chiefs only need 13 seconds, bro. If you got the ball and you know what you got on the other side, leave his ass on the sideline as long as you can, which, to Earl's point, hey, you got to get that rushing aspect of the Chargers right, especially when you had that defense with Khalil Mack and Bosa out there, because they was doing work. And then all of a sudden you start getting pass happy. You know, you got this guy in the back. You got this Maserati back there that you can run him through. But hey, what happened? That Maserati took a couple of dents. And
I don't even think he had 50 yards, bro.
Who? Oh, you talking about Eckler?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It was a combination of him and the other running back out there. That's exactly why he does so well in throwing, to your point there, Gary. So Brandon Staley, man, if he don't get right, because that was only their first divisional game, they don't get right. You know, they're everybody's been picking between.
Why? My bad. What was the black coach that was there last year?
Oh shoot.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, but I know who you're talking about
last year.
Why?
Was that Lindsey?
Yeah, I want to say yes. I want to say yes, but I can't remember his whole name.
Why did they get rid of him? Because I think he was in the plus. Oh, okay, never mind.
We're off mic that one. We're off mic that one, man. We're just keeping it.
He made a new
yeah, I got you. I never turn those lines. Go ahead.
Hey, I know you're gonna get to it, but when people just think that coaching doesn't make a difference, go ask them.
Sure do.
Go ask them.
Oh, bro.
Go ask them.
I know we're not on that, so I know you're on Thursday night, but just put that out in the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can talk about it right now, man, because we didn't. That happened because we didn't talk about it, Dave. You and I that last week because the game had already. No, that was Monday. I'm sorry, it was Monday. It was right, the Monday night game. That's why I put this in the background today, and before I get to that point, I was on my way to on my way to the house yesterday, and now it's Saturday, so Eric knows there's a lot of youth football going on. So the old coach in me misses it. It's been about 5-6 years since I coached, and they were having the youth football out there. So I stopped, pulled up, and I was watching the young kids play, man. And these are the young kids. They had to be probably about like 6 or 7. But I'm watching them, and I see the coaches yelling, trying to get them to do this, that, and the other, trying to get them to line up. And I'm looking at myself, just teach them the basics. Don't try to make it go over their head. Keep it simple. These are 5 and 6, maybe 7-year-olds. Give them one job and just do that. And I'm looking at the kids, and I'm like, they're confused. They don't know what you're telling them. Just give them one thing that they do well. That's it. I lead all that to say this. You saw the game, the Seahawks and the Broncos game that ended in a way that
Geno's coming out partying.
Yeah, right. What time for Geno, son? Oh my God,
that's what it was, bro.
Geno said, "Look, hey,
who
man,
would have thought you would watch first game of the week, Denver and Seattle, and the main talk was Geno Smith?
Yo, wasn't he like 16 or 17 in the first half?
Yes, he was.
It was ridiculous.
Yes, he was, man.
Like,
he
wow.
was balling out. And Geno said, they wrote me off, but I didn't write him back. That was his catchphrase, bro. They wrote me off, but I didn't write him back. That's what he said.
That's that man that stopped Eli Street.
Right. That's the man that they wanted when they thought they were stopping Eli Street.
Right. And then, he suffered the whole broken jaw thing, kind of derailed his career for a little bit. But, so you had him on one side, and then you got the, what's the contract? You might know it off the top. I know they're talking about the guarantees for Russell is what, 2? Was it 200? I know guarantee was like 138 or some weird number like that.
No, I think the guarantee was like 160, I believe.
Was it 160? It was something weird.
Like 69 or something like that.
Either way, it's a lot of goddamn money for them to sit him on the sideline while you bring out a kicker to kick a 64-yard field goal.
That only 2 other kickers have done.
Yeah. First of all,
Tuck, baby.
When they said they were going for the field goal, Eric, I ain't gonna lie. They said they're going for the field goal. I said, they traded for Justin Tucker? Because I was confused like shit.
Right.
No, forget that. You got to go before that, Shawn. You got to go before that. There were 50-something seconds on the clock. So, and you just saw the joint ticking down with 3 timeouts. And I don't know if anybody watched the other broadcast with
the Mannings on
Mannings. I think this is where they should call timeout. Yeah, this is definitely where they should call. Okay, they're not going to call it.
Because they had Shannon Sharp.
Don't mind us. We on the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Oh my God.
We know what we're talking about.
Even Eli was talking shit. Eli was like, they're wasting too much time. And then Shannon Sharp, after it was done, Uncle Shannon wanted to cuss. He was like, so you wasted all that damn time to call a timeout. Oh my God, man. I don't I know he's a new coach, but wow.
No, that's not an excuse. Tag me in real quick.
Yeah, you got it.
Yo, first and foremost, bro. The thing that really pissed me off was after the game and his post conference.
Oh my God, man.
Well, maybe we should have. When I look back on it in hindsight, we should have put it in his hands. I said, yo, and
that was a day later though. That was a day later that he gave that press conference.
But the fact, I'm also putting some of this blame, not really blame, but
no, you do it.
I wish Russell would have spoke up. Like, you can't tell me that in his mind he was cool with that. That kind of goes back to Pete Carroll in the Super Bowl. Like
Russell back then couldn't talk up. I could see a difference.
That's when you go in there and you just snap it.
But even still,
you deal with the repercussions later.
Or you just call the timeout. Russell just on the field called the timeout.
There was 3.
Yeah, they're paying you all this money. Yo, you literally, I forgot what it was at. I think they was at like maybe 30 or 40 seconds. It was something crazy.
Yep.
And they let the clock run down. And I just kept looking like, yo, why are y'all wasting all of this time? You know what I'm saying?
Unless he thought from the beginning, Earl, he was always going to kick the field goal.
Okay, and that's fine, but at least get closer.
Which is still horrible.
You know what I'm saying?
I think he did think that.
This ain't Justin Tuck. This ain't Justin Tuck. It's a 64-yarder. Now, don't get me wrong. Brandon got a leg, but still,
he got a 64-yard.
Yeah, it's a 64-yarder, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You think he in Denver?
Yeah. We would have had a comment. Nobody's
took that chance even they played in Denver.
No, but listen, nobody's going home until we have a conversation. That's a mandatory meeting.
Right.
A mandatory meeting.
Yeah.
It would not be another repeat of this, but I'm gonna need Russell as him getting paid all that money. Like, you gotta speak up, bro, because I know he didn't agree to that.
Right.
You don't pay
Yeah,
that
'cause at the
man
end of the
that
day-
money to come in there and not do.
Exactly, and let him kick the ball.
The scenario was painted perfectly for
Bruh,
us.
Right.
and
It
they
was
got
right there, and it was
Against
like,
your
this is
squad.
what
Against
you're
your
here
squad.
for.
Yeah,
you got
right.
you got 6'4" Sutton, you got Jerry Judy,
Wait a
you
minute,
got
but let's
Melvin
talk about
Gordon.
that for a second. Realize the play calling on that. They
Yeah.
weren't throwing to hit them what the whole
Bruh,
first half.
it got to the second half. To the second half that they started. Man, no. I'm gonna give them a little bit. To the second quarter, the middle to the end of the second quarter is when they first started hitting. Because before he was hitting the tight end. They just started throwing it to the wide receivers in the second quarter, and I'm just like, what? Meanwhile, on the other side, what's old boy over there? Gino looking like he should have been starting.
Facts.
Man, that first drive was like a practice joint,
Bro. That
like
was
a 2-minute drill type.
Bro, I couldn't. I was shocked at what I was watching, and I told you, I bet I put on FanDuel a lot, so I'm always paying attention to these games, and I was just utterly shocked. I didn't even think Gino was going to throw for 200. That's my bad. Respect to Gino.
Agreed. Yeah, right. A situation
Absolutely.
where Rush should have called his own. I mean, I think he's garnered enough now in his. I mean, it's debatable. I mean, I think he's going to be a future Hall of Fame quarterback. I think that he's at the point now where he should be able to call his own plays, change his plays around if he needs to. I mean, you got a coach in his first season as a head coach, so you got a rookie head coach. You got to take that on you got to take the responsibility on yourself now to sit there and say, this is my thing. Because if it goes bad 3 years from now between the coach and the quarterback, which one's still going to be there 3 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Russell. Whether the coach makes it or not in the next 2 or 3 years, he's the one that's still going to be there.
Well, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man.
Now here's a hot take for you.
He ain't going nowhere.
Nobody's taking on.
Not his age either. Hell no.
Right. His contract, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in terms of. I mean, I get nobody may be taking over, but that don't necessarily mean he gonna be there.
Here's a hot take for you.
I'm saying like somebody else might come in, like he might be.
Oh,
you come in?
Yeah, I mean somebody,
Here's a hot take for you. Now at the beginning of the season, when and there was a lot of sports pundits and analysts was saying, hey, with Russell coming to Denver, they're an automatic Super Bowl squad.
Yeah, they said they were quarterback away.
Yeah, quarterback away. All right. Here's the other part of that. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that O-line in Seattle is much different than what Russell played with last year. Is it?
I was, you know what? And that was one of the things I was trying to look at.
It?
But I think I feel like they are a little bit better, but I also feel like too.
No. I ain't say better. I'm saying different. They didn't change the whole. They didn't change the whole starting five out.
Yes, they did, because Fluker used to be on that team. He ain't on there no more.
So they got 5 new linemen in Seattle.
Don't quote me.
I know him about him, but that line is not much different than what it was last year.
I think it is a little bit, bro.
And is it?
I think so. But then the other thing too, you know what I'm saying, and it looked like Gino had a pocket.
Okay, I'll put it that way. The play calling and the plays don't look different than what they ran with Russell last year.
I want to touch on where you're going though.
Yeah,
here's the main difference, and you can even see it in Denver, and they're going to have to try to figure it out too.
Exactly. Yep.
Russ is one of those people that don't stay in the pocket. Even if the play
I was just going to get into that.
Right.
He rolls out.
Right.
And it is very hard to block for a quarterback
for the offensive line
that just rolls out every play. It's a hard thing to do, man.
Yep.
Even if you're a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
That's why they were showing Lamar even years ago. They were like, look, just stick in that pocket more, and he does it. He does it. Even though he's a mobile quarterback, he stays in that pocket, and then if he has to go, he goes. But with Russ, I don't even know if the play is called for him to roll out, and he rolls out.
Right.
And that is very hard to block for him.
And I know he's shorter. He's a shorter quarterback. So a lot of the shorter quarterbacks, they end up doing that so they can see downfield. I think me and you talked about it off mic, Dave, that I think the only real short quarterback who stayed in a pocket like that was a Drew Brees. He just had a feel of knowing what cats were. And Flutie.
So now, let me ask you this question. Now, with saying that, because I was kind of going to allude to that too, Dave. Who is the problem? was it fair to give the offensive line as much as those issues?
I think it was a combination, but I don't think people
I don't think it's as
really
bad as it
looked at
was,
the
though.
fact of
Right.
Russell always rolling out. I
Right.
can tell you every play is not called for him to roll out.
Oh no,
Because
absolutely.
you can't block for that.
Yep.
There's no way you can set up your lineman to block for that.
Yeah, he played like I play in man.
Yep.
with,
It's
with,
perfect example, Earl.
Yeah, man.
True that. Right. Earl, we having a rolling pocket every
I
time you
ain't
drop
lying.
back.
All the time.
He be out.
I may have a
He out.
pocket and I'm
If it
still
was
rolling
old,
out.
he'd be trying to roll out with Eli.
Yeah. Sure am.
Earl got a hole in them pockets. That's what he got.
Sure am.
But look, here's a perfect example, Earl. So they was putting too much on, I believe, too much on that offensive line in Seattle, saying it was their fault, and they didn't want to put the blame on Russell. Well, maybe Seattle was like telling you that, but look at Green Bay. Green Bay's defense, they should be a top 5 defense in the league, but you can see they're not performing as such. And now it's going to be like, now that they, of course, Aaron Rodgers, and he got receivers, and him being the GOAT, one of the greatest, I guess they want to say.
He don't have receivers.
Yeah, right. And then you got if that defense doesn't play up the par. Now, whose fault is it? Is the defense really that bad, or is the fact that they may be on the field too goddamn much because the offense in Green Bay plays well?
Yeah, it's just like a couple years back, and Dave can attest to this. Back when the last time the Giants went to the playoffs, the offense didn't get them there. It was the defense that got us to the playoffs. And honestly speaking, I knew we were. Yeah, and I knew we wasn't gonna go that far. Because
that's the first time they won an opening game for the year since the boat trip. But go ahead, keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, but I
saw that. I didn't
know
realize
that the defense. I knew that the defense wasn't gonna couldn't carry them that far because, like I said, at the end of the day, you would need the defense to not only play defense but also score. And they was on the field way long. I mean, substantially longer than the offense. So, like,
but you want to know something? Can we get back to last week for a second, Shawn? Because I believe I called out that Green Bay is overrated, and a lot of people are hyping them up.
Absolutely.
And I said they are overrated team. I'm not here to slant on Aaron Rodgers, and even Malik during the last joint agreed with it because I said everybody talking about Aaron Rodgers this, Aaron Rodgers that. Please realize he was a big reason why they don't have Devontae Adams right.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
A huge reason. Devontae said, look, I'm not doing this every single year, not knowing if you're gonna come back stuff. So let me just go play with my boy. And now he's reaping what he sowed. This is his doing. If he didn't do that, I think Devontae would still be there because they were one of the most awesome combos pretty much ever. One of the most awesome ones. But
and
it's not to sit there and say that one of the young guys won't eventually step up and actually be good.
And they could.
Yeah.
But
Malik always quick to sit there.
Over.
Yeah, well, Malik's quick to sit there and say that Adams in his first year out there was dropping passes too, and then all of a sudden it clicked.
Mm-hmm. But here's my thing. Here's my thing. As an organization, right? And I hope they learn. I hope they learn from this, and I hope other organizations pay attention to this too. A quarterback is very important, right? Probably one of your most important pieces. But your skill player positions are also important because at the end of the day, you can have a great quarterback, and you can have nobody to throw it to, and what's going to happen? You're going to have that debacle that happened last week with Green Bay. So like honestly speaking, I understand. Like I would never tell nobody to go get your money, but if Aaron Rodgers is moving in the sense where like, yo, I'm trying to get paid and win, he gonna have to come to the front of the congregation because I feel like you can't have both without having some kind of sacrifice in it. Like he should have left a little bit on the table.
I think even more.
I don't think it was that though.
Even more than pay, I think it was the whole show
back and forth.
People.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
they're like, nah, man, I ain't sitting here for this. And then the 1 year that I sit up there and sign on for 2 to 3 years is gonna be the 1 year you say, nah, I'm done.
And then I'm stuck with who's their draft pick that we forgot about? Was it Jordan Love? We completely forgot about his
out here with Love. Nah, I'm good.
And and how many years did they sign him for Aaron Rodgers for?
His extension, what was it, 4 years?
And that's wild, bro. So that
4 years.
So you wasted that pick on a quarterback who ain't gonna probably see the light of day for another couple of years. And Wow. Okay.
Yep.
They'll pick somebody else before he gets a chance to play.
Yeah, he'll be gone. He'll end up be a career backup. He just don't know it yet.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's even bad, man. Of course, you guys are watching live. The Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk across all three of our streaming platforms: YouTube, Twitch TV, and Facebook Live. So, of course, you can't have an NFL season without NFL injuries, man. Gosh almighty. A couple of teams, well, one particular team already, their season was done before they even had the game
juju
over.
This way. Don't push that juju this way.
So, right.
So don't talk about it, Dave. Don't even talk about it.
So we talked about the Justin Herbert injury. We'll see how that goes. I haven't seen anything else about it. They didn't say if he had broken ribs. They didn't say it was a rib injury. They didn't say if it was broken.
Rib cartilage.
So yeah, what does
all
that
they
mean?
know
What
is
does
that the same.
What does that really mean though? Is there like the cartilage that be on the back, like when you grill your rib? Yeah. You want
But it should be a little bit of problems with that because the same doctor that Tyrod Taylor has a lawsuit with.
Justin, keep that needle away from
one that is working on Justin Herbert. So they might want to.
Who's the backup in LA? Do they even have a backup? I don't even know his name.
Tyrod ain't there no more. And that's the problem.
Yeah. Justin should be like, if you don't put that damn needle down, you ain't gonna get me, bro. So you had that happen. And then of course last week you had the injury to one TJ Watt, that he apparently ruptured, strained or something, his pectoral, but he ain't on the IR. Typically that's a season-ending injury, and he gonna ride it out. Apparently, from everything I'm reading, they said, look, we just gonna manage it and go. He's not even, I was looking on the NFL injury list this week. He's not even on the Steelers thing. It's showing questionable or out. And I looked at that this morning. Unless they updated something there. So
he's not playing today.
Yeah, I would think he's not playing.
They said he's not playing.
Yeah, so yeah, they need to update their stuff on that. But even then, though, like they haven't ruled him out. So I mean, those Watt brothers, man, he's
ruled out. They may not be reflecting it, but they came out and said he wasn't playing.
Right. You got him going.
They still just trying to figure out if he getting the surgery or not after like 4 or 5 talks with doctors.
Yeah. Right. It was like not gonna be
They're
able
trying to find the one that says no.
Yeah, that
he can play through this.
You better take his ass
to the money.
All right.
He probably took him a patient first and be like, look, well, we just get him some torn rib cartilage.
Is it too soon to say they called up Michael's? Nah, let me not even go there. Ain't he out, Murray?
Oh man, I wouldn't doubt it. So you got him going there, and on that same week, you had one Dakota Prescott get injured again.
That's not his real name, is it?
For the word, yeah, that's his whole Dakota
really?
Prescott.
Yeah. I just learned that. That's why they call him Dak.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah. And the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the world champion Dallas Cowboys.
All right, relax.
Oh shit!
That's who Mad Dog picked to go there.
Man, listen. Look, that they weren't looking good before he got injured.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Who was their backup?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah. Oh, Cooper Rush. Okay.
Cooper Rush.
But realize, I don't know if you saw, he hurt that finger twice. Yeah. Well, I should say his hand.
Yeah.
He tried to play through the first time it got hit.
Right. And I think after that first one, he probably knew then was like, oh, this can't be happening.
He did.
Again.
He was trying to shake it out.
Yeah. And
then for that to happen twice, something that hardly ever happens. I mean, I was like, wow.
So is it safe to say that couple things. Mike McCarthy is out of there after this season.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Even the injury ain't even his fault, but yeah, for sure.
I think he was out of there before the season started.
Well, no. We knew that. We knew that because we know it's a setup, perfect setup for Sean Payton.
Jerry just didn't want to pay that. He's like, I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you to be here.
Then the other question is, I feel like they're probably another season away from restarting this whole thing over because the offensive line, what's the name got hurt? What's the left tackle again? Tyron Smith got hurt. They let Collins go.
Zeke is gone after this year.
Zeke, well, I don't know, but I was going to get to that. And then what's the Zach Martin? He probably about to be out of here soon. He probably going to retire soon. You know what I'm saying? So, and Zeke looking like no disrespect to Frat.
Power Ranger?
Zeke looking like Emmitt Smith, like where he might have only been as great as he was because of his line.
His offensive line.
You can say it. It might be. That's when he was.
But I don't want to disrespect Frat like that, man. He's still nice, but you know what I mean. I just felt like he was only as good as his line.
That's what Barry said.
Was. Nah, I agree. Because he looking real. He looking real basic these days.
Listen, Barry wouldn't have known what to do behind that line. He would have been like, wait a minute, I could go straight?
Right.
Like, y'all in my way.
Did y'all see me run for 2,000 yards and I had to run backwards first to go forward?
Right.
Have you played Tecmo mode?
I would actually put Pollard in. I would start Pollard over Zeke at this point.
But he can't. That's the thing. He can't block.
He can't.
Ooh.
He can't pass block to save his life.
Pollard, he's horrible at pass.
Zeke can't block either.
He's actually one of the best.
Block a lot better.
Pass blocking running backs in
Go
the league.
go watch your film, bro.
Yeah,
go watch your film. You know I'm not no Dallas fan, but that's why they keep both of them. Yeah, because Zeke is getting paid all that money now, basically block.
Yeah, I'm not paying you to block with that offensive line.
6 offensive linemen.
Right. I'm not paying you to block. Like if you had the Giants offensive line last year and I would be paying the running back to block. I'm not paying you to block with the Cowboys offense.
Well, shit, you can't keep your offensive line healthy, so somebody got to block.
Well, hey, listen.
So they're down. So it's safe to say that I think their season is done, because they don't have even with them having the defense that they got, but they just don't have the. Micah's going. Well, yeah, Micah gonna do what he gonna do.
Michael Parsons is.
Micah gonna do what he do. Yeah.
Anytime Gary gets a chance to shine on Detroit, he gonna shine.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
These are all facts.
All facts. Yeah. That's nothing you can even say. Like, I actually do honest though that if you had gave Barry that type of line, he might have been like, look, y'all really are in my way. I can't do my thing because they're there. Like his game was.
He would have played longer too.
But do you think? But let me ask you this, not to get off the topic. If he did have that line, would he have the same notoriety as he does now, or would it look like an Emmitt Smith?
Oh no, Barry's just different, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is because of that offensive line, like you saw.
No, but I'm saying after he would have got past the line, the moves that he would have.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying
he's saying that the way that we sitting there and say that Emmitt was so good because of the line,
because of the
right. I got you. Right, because of the line.
What made Barry special is because we saw what he didn't have and what he did.
I mean, in order to answer your question, Earl, we can't say.
Right.
There's no way we can say, because you're right. If him and Emmitt switched spots, we may be saying that Barry was only good because of the line. So we don't know.
Right.
Yeah. It was but Barry was Detroit though. He was that team. Whereas, Emmitt did have receivers on the outside as well. So, Barry was the offense at the end of the day.
Defense.
Yeah. So speaking of injuries, injury that he's come back, and another one, he was like, they wrote me off and I ain't right back. Shout out to Geno Smith. One only Saquon Barkley was showing his whole ass last week. If you guys watch the Pivot or listen to the Pivot podcast, he was up there and pretty much let him know. So look, man, he was like, look, keep that same energy. All of y'all who wrote me off, keep that same energy. Stay over there. And he said, man, it took him down a path, man, as far mentally. You think about these guys are all world athletes, and then all of a sudden, people are cheering your name and stuff like that, and then you have unfortunate injuries. And you start to question your own mentality, your own mental, and you find out who really got you, who really got you back. And he's in New York, so the media coverage is like times 10. Mm-hmm. And for a while they started treating Saquon, man, like he was one of these other running back bums. Like, bruh, my man's is official since he came out of Penn State. The injuries are the injuries.
I don't think he. No. I was about to say I don't think it was ever. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, Dave, go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, I bounce back off. Go ahead.
There are only a couple things on the running side for me, being a Giants fan, that I was annoyed about with Saquon, and it was the dancing in the backfield and not hitting the hole type thing. Right. But as far as looking at him and going like, oh, this is a scratch, like, oh man, we really messed up on this one. It was just the injury bug, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was. No,
I never looked at Saquon like, oh nah.
I'm going from his own. I'm going from his own. That was from his own words. That's his own words, saying like that's what he was being looked at as.
Those are people just.
For one, I think, and especially me and Dave, we talk about this a lot. Like we'll have our conversations on the side, but I don't think nobody ever said, at least me and him, nobody never questioned how good he is. You know what I'm saying? Like we always knew he was a problem. We just had issues in terms of with his decision making. Okay. Like
at the end of the day, when I look and I say, all right, is this offensive line better? Yeah, they're better. Are they substantially better than what we've had in the past? Nah, I mean, not that crazy. I feel like they're still developing, but yeah, there are some bright spots. I also feel like it was a mentality shift with him, because what you can't do is you can't dance. You're too big to be dancing.
This
Like, you
isn't
need
college.
to, yeah, it's not college, bro. You have to hit them holes. But then also, here's the reality of the situation. If he's hitting the holes, hitting these A or B gaps, right, and just running north and south, Saquon is really not averaging more than 5 yards a carry, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, typically what happens when he has like these monstrous games is because he breaks one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what ends up happening. You know what I'm saying? So like, what I want to see is when he doesn't break one, like, can he consistently at least hit these holes to get those, at least 5 to 10 yards, every drive and things in that nature? Because that's gonna add up to 100. But it's just,
You
I need
average
him.
5 yards a carry. That's first down.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
good.
So right. So that's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking away from this showing, because he had what, 160 something from the ground, and then 194 total yards. Like,
Yeah, over
that's
200.
yeah,
I think it was
almost 200.
yeah.
But again, he broke one for damn near 60 something yards. So,
like, I really want to see what he does when he doesn't get that shot to break one, and just if he can be consistent. The other thing too with that, I want to make sure, and I'm starting to see it, I don't want the Giants to run him into the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They have to go like do like what we did back in the day when we had Bradshaw and Jacobs, and even what was it, Ward. You know what I'm saying? And run a committee, bro. You know what I'm saying? The whistle way where
Got Breeder back there.
Yeah, and they got Breeder back there, and they got the young boy, I think Williams or whatever. Like, he's nice. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think he was injured. He didn't play last game. But like, use the committee, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't run him into the ground. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's my last thing. I'm gonna pass it. Like, he got to get 1,000 yards this season. Like, he's got to get 1,000 yards this season in order to get that contract.
I need him to not get injured.
Well, but in order for him to get that 1,000 yards, he can't get injured. But at least I would at least say that if he got that 1,000 yards and got injured, I still think he would be safe.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, man, because like if they use him the right way, and I think, and I'm gonna give this to Eric because I want to do something specific for Eric on this one. But as far as Saquon, I think when that dance started to happen, I think he started to take the, hey, I got to be the one to give us some type of offense, because the offense was getting so stagnant, and this where you start to see that. So it's week 2. We see what's gonna happen. But last week, I missed Eric last week, and I didn't get to get his full Ravens outlook. Me and Dave gave our outlook as far as like the Lamar contract and stuff like that. And I think he's quietly gonna have a crazy season, and he's not running yet. But he, so we'll see. So Eric, your outlook on your guys in Baltimore, man.
Just in general, or we're talking
on
about
the season? On the season.
Oh, I mean, I guess if I sit there and say we Super Bowl bound, everybody would probably sit there and laugh at me, But to the credit, I mean, Kelly said the same thing about his team last year. We laughed at him, and they were Super Bowl bound. So, there's a quick shout out to his Bengals. I gotta give him that. So, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna be the fact that we haven't even got our running backs back in our backfield yet to get going, but yet we're still able to produce. I mean, we didn't produce as well on the ground last week as we could have, but once again, we don't have our starting backfield. So once we start getting our starting backfield back in there and things start getting back into play, I just think it's going to us having the Jets was good for us the first week because it was a good tune-up, being the fact that Lamar didn't do anything for the preseason because of the whole contract thing. I mean, yeah, he was there, so obviously he learned the plays and everything, but this was his first time really getting out there in a go situation. So the first half looked a little sluggish as he started off, but as the game went on, I mean, you could see. So I'm thinking he's not really going to be in full gear to probably like week 3 is when he's really going to be just, Action Jackson type. So even with the game coming up today, I think this is, just that kind of finishing off the fine tuning to get everything out of your system right now. Obviously, we just lost another defensive back. We lost Fuller for the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, such is life. I mean, you're going to lose somebody along the way. But overall, I mean, the majority of our team that we did not have last year, we have back this year. So at least we're not losing folks, to reoccurring injuries, at least not yet from what we had last year. So our outlook, I think, is going to be great. I think that we're, especially with the whole Deshaun Watson situation, I think that we should be the favorite to win the AFC North. I mean, just in my opinion, I mean, sometimes it comes down to the team that's actually just the healthiest. And last year, the Bengals were that team that was the healthiest, and that's how they got that. So not to sit there and say that the Browns won't be healthy. It's just to sit there and say that you're going into the majority of your season without your actual quarterback. Yeah, you survived last week, which, truth be told, Baker should have beat them last week. So it is what it is. I'm not here to bash on them, not yet, at least. But I'm just saying. I mean, and then you look at the Steelers. Losing TJ Watt's going to be big. I mean, it's already bad enough that you got Mitch Trubisky as your quarterback, and I keep having the same conversation with these unrealistic Steeler fans. I mean, see, Stephen A. always rags on the Dallas fans. You don't realize Steelers fans are just as ridiculous as Dallas Cowboy fans. Like, he don't say that because he is a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. So, he always rags on the Dallas folks, but Pittsburgh Steeler fans are just as bad as Dallas Cowboy fans. Like, to them, every year they touch the field, they're going to do it. Like, I'm literally having these conversations with these Pittsburgh people when I'm like, you see all three quarterbacks, they looking good. I'm like, dude, if you got three quarterbacks, then mean you really don't have any. Like, you can't come at me and sit there and say, look at all three quarterbacks. No, if you're talking about three guys who are doing good in the preseason, you ain't got nobody. And we all know that the rookie should be starting, but Mitch Trubisky is starting because of the fact that he got paid the contract to come in to be a bridge quarterback. But I think pretty much all of us can probably agree that he ain't going to be starting by the end of the season. So eventually it's going to be, and the same thing when Big Ben first got there. Like, Tommy Maddox was the starter, but everybody knew eventually Big Ben was going to be the starter. You don't pick a quarterback, especially the Steelers. They don't draft quarterbacks. So when you draft one, and especially you draft them in the first round, that's your starting quarterback. Right. It's just a matter of circumstances of when it happened. And, Big Ben got his first play in action when they played against us. Now, granted, I think Pickett's going to play before then because they don't play us until late in the season. But by the time he gets to his first game against us, the rookie's going to be in. We're not going to see Mr. Trubisky. They're going to have that boy in by that time. They're not going to have no choice at that point. So, like I said, Steeler fans are Steeler fans, and I deal with them the same way that you guys deal with Dallas fans. So, and then the Bengals, I mean, you were supposed to have corrected your problem. Your problem was supposed to be your offensive line, but yet your quarterback went out there and got ransacked all game long. I mean, kudos to Joe Burrow because he's just the truth. I mean, we all been talking about Justin Herbert. Can you imagine if Joe Burrow's had a Justin Herbert offensive line?
Man, get the Steelers some respect. That defense ain't no slouch, bro.
Who we talking about?
For the Bengals and versus.
I haven't even got to the. I haven't even. I'm stuck on the Bengals offense right now. I haven't.
No, I mean, I'm because you said like because he didn't really have a great with the 4 interceptions. I was just saying like
you talking about his line though. He's talking about the line.
I know, but I'm saying I'm also contributing that to like the Steelers got a good defense. Like
yeah, they absolutely. Well, they had a good defense.
Well, yeah. That's
shots fired.
Wow. Look, I picked the Steelers defense on my fantasy team last week.
Don't do that. Don't try to clean it up. Man. Don't try to clean it up, man.
I did. They were you can trust and believe they ain't on there this week.
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you something. TJ Watt going to see this somehow, some way, and that's going to be the motivation. Like they said, he was out for 6 weeks. That motherfucker come back next week.
Yeah, it was
like there was some Ravens fan on this
it's
show.
Put an S on it. Ravens fans. It's a lot of us that's talking about the fact that they done that defense is now washed. That TJ's gone. So put an S on that. Ravens fans say that they're done. So I mean, but like I was saying, I mean, the Bengals' offensive line is still their Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Pittsburgh's got a good defense, but if the Bengals' offensive line was more like the Chargers' offensive line, the Steelers
game might be a little different. It might be a little different,
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they still back there getting Joe just beat up, and they spent all this money. Now, I give them credit because they did try to improve their offense by spending money to get an offensive line. So maybe some of it might just be they just ain't clicking yet, they ain't gelling. Yeah. So I mean, as the season goes on, that might work itself out, and that might be better. That's why I'm thinking the Bengals are going to probably be the number 2 team in the AFC North behind us. So I am giving them that credit for that. Would you say, Earl?
Nothing.
He's on it. He's on it, man.
Yeah, look, I'm just speaking from really. Now, obviously, people want to sit there and say I'm talking that from a biased standpoint.
Yeah, I think you are, but go ahead.
And that's fine. That's fine. You go to your opinion, but I'm just looking at things the way the way that it's looking out there to me. Now, obviously, injuries non-factor because anything can happen along the way. Because like I said, the TJ Watt, nobody obviously saw that coming. Najee Harris getting hurt. Nobody saw that coming. Hey, I even had Najee Harris as my running back last week.
He got injured too, right?
Yeah, he got hurt too.
Yeah.
Quick question. My bad. Quick question.
What's up?
Are you concerned as a Ravens fan that your quarterback doesn't have a contract? And I also want no. He doesn't have the new contract. And also, too, please don't lie to me, okay? And act like this man played the best game he could have played against the Jets, because that fool ran, I think, under 10 yards. He is not leaving that pocket this season until he gets that money.
No, I'm not gonna ask you about it.
Take me in.
Sitting there saying that he didn't play. He in my opinion, is not really in football condition. I mean, he's working his way there because he didn't play.
No. He ain't got nothing with football condition. He's not putting his body on the line.
Tag me in.
Oh, you mean as far as like he didn't take he had a very good game passing.
But he's playing the Jets. What I'm saying is when you start getting into them division games, bro, he's going to need to use his legs.
He did the same thing last year.
Correct.
He's not putting his body on the line.
He did the same thing last year.
All right. Look, he's probably going to be running a bit today because of them playing the Dolphins and the way that the Dolphins played us last year. He's probably going to be using those legs today.
That covers zero.
I bet you he doesn't have more than 30 yards.
Really?
I'll say he won't have over 50 today. That's interesting.
He ain't getting that. Nowhere near that.
And I'm gonna tell you why. It's not because he ain't gonna want to run. Because last year, you great segue, and we are going to our picks. So last year, LeBron Jackson did the same thing. He didn't run a lot until around week 6 or 7. He started off the season the exact same way. And so that was before we even talked about the contract. So when they played against Miami last year, they even said in his interview, and Lamar said it, that they were caught off guard because Miami hit him with that cover 0, and they were just bringing the house at him. Now,
blitzed more time than any quarterback in the league last year in that game.
So if Miami Miami should say, well, they may be prepared for this, so we'll do something different. I think Miami's going to try the same thing. Like most coaches, they don't ever change their stripes. So what's going to happen is I believe that today Lamar won't have over 50 yards rushing, but he'll probably have over 300 yards passing, because I think Duvernay and those guys, he's gonna make them pay for blitzing him today.
They came at him with 24 blitzes last year. More blitzes than any other quarterback in the league in one game.
Yeah, so he's gonna throw the ball today. What you got, Dave?
Hit a little bit of background music for me real quick. This episode is brought to you by no other than Story Punch.
Oh, Lord.
We're working on the bottling right now, but just to wake you up, to put you to sleep medicine. So if you want your day to be never ending, get it, Story. Never ending. Have some Story Punch. Contact the hot seat. Go back to your talk.
Hey, yo, time out real quick, because that was hard. You need the logo of that. Let that be the slogan. It'll wake you up to put you back to sleep. That is a bar, yo.
Yeah, there we go. We're working on it.
Oh, man.
Where could you get it?
Right there. Oh, man. We're going to make it happen.
Man. Yo, I'm with it. Look, we'll pull all type of resources. It's like, did they have their own drink? Hey, Dwayne Johnson got Terramana. Hey, I'm all with it, man. Oh, man. All right, man.
Be selling that in the parking lots like they be selling nutcrackers out in the
and look, all you do is tailgate.
Have a cooler.
Man.
Oh, man.
All right, let's get right into it, man. So, of course, we know what you guys came in for. So, hope, we all playing fantasy. So, y'all, you guys, we gave out a little bit of credence to, some fantasy stuff this week. I won a little bit last week, not from our league team, but I did win some on the actual Thursday night game, which is pretty
I won $1.
I did too.
Look,
I want $1.36.
Okay.
Show off.
I want $50, so it's not bad. But I will say this though, man.
Oh.
That's what we're going on.
But here's me. I don't know if everybody else noticed this, and I'm not saying it's rigged, but I know, I've been to casinos. The house always win. I like how on DraftKings, because I don't use FanDuel, so I can only say about DraftKings. So you'll be up, right? You'll be up with a decent squad, and all of a sudden your ass be like at the bottom, and then you look at who's winning. This particular person who's winning, whatever, always seem to have those individuals who have great fantasy Sundays. Motherfuckers, you wouldn't even thought about even picking for your squad. I'm like, yeah, because I'll be like, yo, there's no, at one point, and I don't look at it because I don't get my hopes up, but at one point during the Thursday night game, the difference between me and the number one person was 4 points. At the time, he was winning the cool mill. And then down for me, like, to get above it. So I was like at the 25 grand aspect. I was like, let me not look at this because I want my heart pressure, my pressure to get up. Then all of a sudden I look, late on in the night, and when the game's over, and I look, that person who didn't win, but now I look at the person who actually did win, and I'm like, so you mean to tell me you picked all these cats who had a crazy fantasy week? I think it was Justin McKinnon. It was I forgot who the other the tight end for the Chargers. Bunch of other, it was like weird how it panned out. I was like, so this was what you picked from the jump. Be on that. That's how that. The house always wins, man. But anyway, I did win $50 though, so that works. That works.
Hey, side note, Maryland, please activate this stuff so we can get on this sports book.
Real.
Go ahead.
We still can't use FanDuel yet.
Not yet. I've only used it one time, and that's when I was in Virginia, and I bet then, and it worked.
Still can't use it. Gary can use it. We can't use it.
I'm in Virginia. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, you can bet. You can bet right now, bro. You can bet.
Wait, hey Dave, do you have an account? Do you have an account?
Do I what?
Do you have a FanDuel account?
No, I was going in the draft.
No,
Wait. Don't set up nothing. After this, I'll hit you up with something.
Oh, yeah.
You trying to get some referral, John?
No, because you're going to get some too. So hold on.
All right.
Yeah, let's off like that. Yeah, all right, man. So going into our week picks. So this is what our week one standings were.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful right there.
The 10.5. So no one picked.
That's wrong.
What? That's what you said, me.
Nah, everything's right except for switch Earl and Eric.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say, mad disrespectful, bro.
My bad. I'm sorry. I missed that then. All right, I'll switch.
Yeah, switch Earl and Eric. It's the same thing.
You're right. You know what? I'm sorry. Yeah, because the way I looked at it, I'm sorry. My bad. So yeah. Eric was 6.56. I switched.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, can I get an apology, bro?
My apologies, man.
That was the ones we picked different. Eric, remember I said it's gonna come down to that?
Yeah. I'll correct it. I apologize, man.
That put me behind.
Yeah, and that half point came from the Houston
Giants.
Game.
Nah, that tie.
That tie. I was like, what the hell?
Them Giants, Eric.
Oh, he went against us?
Shoot, I was gonna go.
He was going against y'all too.
Well, you know what's funny.
Chances behind the last second.
Dave had called me. And we was going down the picks, and he said, "Yo, the Giants versus Titan." And what I asked you, Dave?
I'm trying to remember.
I said, who you picking?
Oh yeah, you showing up there.
The funny thing is, I told Dave to go ahead and take the job because I told him that could be the difference in between him winning at the end and not winning.
Nah, but we realistic.
And he did it.
Realistic.
Yes.
Hey.
The 0.5 is for the tie, by the way.
Yeah, the 0.5 is for the tie. It's for the tie.
Which is craft.
Yeah.
Which is whatever they call that thing. That new one. Which is hard. That's Bartesian talk. My fault.
Fair enough. All right, man.
So, on my list to get to.
So let's get right on into it. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Let's go. First game up, Dolphins at Ravens. I think we gave you guys our discussion of why we thought it was going to be what it is. I think the Dolphins ain't going to learn their lesson. They're going to come back with that cover zero blitz type thing, trying to hit Lamar. Lamar ain't going to run a lot. I think he's going to throw and have a 300-yard day. That being the case, I'm picking the Ravens.
All right. I already know who Eric's picking.
Right? Yeah. You really need me to talk about it.
You know what? I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I'm going to go to Dolphins on this one.
And I'm gonna go to Ravens. You keep on going against the grain. Hey, by the way, Gary, since you're on here, let us know what your record was for last week.
Right.
Give that half point for the tie game. That's what it's for.
Yeah, for the Houston game. Yeah,
because you didn't win or lose.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta pour some story punch real quick. Give me a second.
Is Gary in this with us too? We gotta do a little CG. Put his record up there too.
I will. I'll get a little CG for. I'll get a little
Gary,
CG for.
Gary, put your record up there so we can. There you go, sir. Thank you for being the customer.
Who else trying to get in? Malik trying to get in? Cleo trying to get in? Who else trying to get in there?
What we got? Sorry, y'all. Vacation mode. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So what we got up next? Jets at Browns.
Lord.
The Browns.
Yeah, I got the Browns. Ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna add to this. Robert Saleh is gonna be just another coach in the Jets franchise that's gonna go down the toilet.
Nah, I'm gonna get fuck that. I'm going with the Jets.
Ooh, Earl is really gonna have the bad record.
Nah. All right.
I'm gonna catch up to Earl by the end of this week.
All right.
So Eric and Shawn.
Guess I was drinking in Detroit. This is good.
Nice.
Commanders at Lions. Last week,
can I pick a tie for this one?
If you pick a tie, you actually win. If it's ties, you actually win.
But if you lose, it counts as a whole loss.
As a whole
That
loss?
is correct.
Oh my God.
That is
Not ties, it's a whole loss.
People out there ties. That go on. I'll give you 2 points if that joint happens.
You should if it does, yo.
The Lions proved to be
we did that last year. It was a
It was for
Lions
Detroit.
Yeah, it was.
Detroit was giving out 2 points for a win.
Because I was picking Detroit, remember?
This ain't the same Detroit squad from last year. Though.
Nah, it ain't.
It's
Much more physical squad, but they do have a couple of injuries, man, that are concerning. I got Washington. I got a Washington in this one.
Okay, Gary.
I'm gonna go with the fray, but go ahead. Let me hear what everybody else says.
First time that Detroit's been favored to win in 25 games. They had 24 straight games, but they were the underdogs. This is the first time in 25 games that they're the favorite to win a game. You know what? Washington.
I knew he was setting it up too. Oh. Yep.
Wow.
I got Washington.
Hey man, look, I knew I blew a gasket doing the draft podcast when they traded and got the receiver, man, Josh Donaldson, man. Hey, look, I didn't like the pick still, but that young kid is the truth, bro. He's the truth. Still don't like the pick, but he's the truth.
Yeah. I guess everybody went with the Commanders, so I'll go with the Commanders.
No. You got the Lions, brother. Let it ride.
Nah, I want
No, brother. You said Lions. Let it ride.
I need Dotson to be the truth this week. Go ahead.
Colts at Jaguars. I feel like this is gonna be a struggle game, man. Like Sunshine is now, Sunshine. You know, I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence. He's turned into Sundown. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him out in Jacksonville, but that week I picked them last week because of what I saw, and they just threw up all over themselves.
Yeah,
that being the case, Matt Ryan might have should have stayed in Atlanta. The Colts ain't what they were last year. I think Jags win this game.
I'm going with the Colts.
All right. Yeah, you're bugging. I'm going with the Colts.
And
they still got
the division game too. I'm going.
They still got Tell over there, buddy. You're bugging.
I like the way that you're thinking, man. Just not this week. So I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah.
Yes, Gary. We know you taking the Lions, and we know you taking Jacksonville.
Bucks
at Saints. I got Jameis. Fuck it. New Orleans.
I'm with the Saints as well.
Because our knee bone is connected to our shoulders. And our shoulders.
Yo, you see the energy with Jameis in his like sideline interviews, bro.
He be trying to sound deep, but sound so dumb, yo.
I'm with Jay. I'm rocking with Jay.
I mean, this is the same fool that so I don't know. Yeah, cause he stole some crab legs. So I can't go with that. So I'm gonna go with
we taking this back to Florida State.
Yeah.
You going with the Bucks?
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks, man.
I'm going with the Bucks.
Don't go against Tommy.
Panthers at Giants.
You don't got to ask me.
I'm going with Baker and the Panthers.
All right.
Last week showed you what time it is, what time of day it is in New York. Dayball is a coach. He is the coach. He is the shift that is going to be the Giants. I got the Giants this week. Man.
Yeah, and we got some. This is the our last GM team, so we about to get into business, yo. Giving us all these whack ass players, yo.
Once again, this is brought to you by Story Punch, and Story Punch is going to pick these Giants this week.
Yeah, I think we knew that, brother. Your hat said it all.
I already have Eric. Eric got the Panthers.
Yeah, we all picked.
Patriots at Steelers.
I got Eric, who you going with?
I got the Steelers, man.
I mean, traditionally, this would be the game where I sit there and say, I wish they would have a tie, or I wish both teams could lose. But if I gotta pick one, I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Wow.
Oh, shoot.
Was that a real pick or a pride pick?
That's a real pick. What part of they got Mr. Trubisky as their quarterback you don't understand?
Oh, shoot. Okay.
I think this is going to be a defensive game because both of them quarterbacks ain't looking like shit.
They're playing at
Pittsburgh.
At Pittsburgh.
I'm going Steelers, bro. I'm betting on black.
Steelers. Falcons at Rams. The Falcons put up a good showing last week, but they are playing in LA.
And the Rams lost last week.
So yeah, let's go with Rams, man.
Yep, same.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp about to have
Marcus Mariota ain't gonna. If they run Marcus Mariota this week like they ran him last week,
he gonna have to run.
Yeah, go ahead and get ready to pull out their backup because
he gonna have to run.
Between Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, somebody out there, they gonna lay the wood to him. I'll tell you that now. So
shit, and Wagner.
Right. So yeah, they kind of pissed off about that. that was an iconic scene, man. Rams, I got you.
Rams,
iconic scene. Seahawks at 49ers. I believe in Geno, son. I'm going with the Seahawks, bro.
Yeah, you could keep believing in them. Okay.
I ain't got Geno doing it again.
Hell no.
Especially against this type of defense. I ain't got Geno doing it again. No. And I ain't sitting there saying that Trey Lance is going to tear it up.
They didn't show up the last week.
Facts.
Yeah. I ain't saying Trey Lance going to tear it up, but I am saying that 49ers defense is.
You can come over for some more.
Is the 49ers defense better than the Denver defense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. This is part of the broadcast.
Yo, you can only see this doing a hot seat podcast with this football talk. This is what we do. It's live on air drinking. It's unfiltered. You know what time it is. I'm with it.
All right, where we at? I got 49ers. Who did Eric? Who do you have? And Earl.
49ers.
I missed it. All right.
49ers.
Gary with me. Gary got Seahawks as well.
Nobody want to talk about how
Gary got the Lions and the
Jets. Not in Seattle either.
True.
Because I'm going to tell you that played a difference.
It did. Because they couldn't hear. Geno about to be Geno.
Bengals at Cowboys.
I make this clear for everybody. Everybody's picking the Bengals.
Yes.
Next. And somebody tell me I'm lying. Somebody tell me I'm lying.
I can't say it.
Oh man, yeah.
Like I said, second best team in the AFC North.
Yeah, just go to the next one, bro. That was a waste of time. Self-explanatory.
Texans. It should be say Texans, not Texans. Texans at Broncos.
I kind of think this is like the same. Like, well, no.
Listen, hold on. Before we make these picks,
right
here.
Right.
Stop the music for a second. I got to give a shout out last week to Gary and Malik because they tried to put me and Shawn on to the fact that the Texans were better than
Colts.
But I definitely
in general, yeah,
we're gonna be.
Right.
And we're sitting back. We're like, why are y'all bigging up the Texans? Really? Welcome to why we have 0.5.
Right.
So you can start the music back up, but shout out to y'all.
Are you saying after this week that 0.5 is gonna be a whole point now?
It might be a whole point.
You're about to have another 0.5?
Nah, time out.
We did not see that coming. Go ahead.
You did not.
Time out. No disrespect to them brothers.
What's up?
No disrespect to them brothers. But at the end of the day,
love you.
No disrespect to them brothers. But at the end of the day, that was week 1, bro. They're not going to continue to do this.
All right. Hey, man, I don't know, man.
Not with Mills, bro. And not with the coach that he's only going to be there for. No, Lovey there. My bad.
Lovey knows defense.
Lovey there. Nah, Lovey there.
I'm going to put it this way. If they were playing in Houston, I would take the Texans.
Right.
Since they're playing in Denver, I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, I got Broncos this week.
I think that's the only difference.
It's going to be closer than what you think. And if it gets close again, we're going to see if they're going to take the ball out of Russell's hand again.
Nah, they ain't going to make that mistake again. Because that coach won't be here next week.
It's facts.
Yeah, he loses this week.
Nah, he's
Walmart people ain't going to put up with that.
Don't let him roll.
Yeah.
You mess around, you got Peyton on the sideline. Like, hey, nah,
you're going to lose that Walmart money quick.
They already pulled him in the office.
Right. Cardinals at Raiders.
The Texans make it to the playoffs after Deshaun being gone.
Then I apologize.
Wow. Cardinals at Raiders. I got Raiders, man. The Cardinals. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a rough season for them, man. I got Raiders.
I'm going with the Raiders as well.
Yep. Likewise.
All for the Raiders.
Gabby said how to be disrespectful.
Our Sunday night game, Bears at Packers.
Eric.
Yeah, I like Justin Fields, and I think a few people are starting to look like we should have picked Justin over Trey Lance. I'm just saying. I got the Bears in this one, man.
Is this not the team that Aaron Rodgers got on the camera and said, "I own you"?
It is.
I'm gonna keep it going. I think he still owns them.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think the Packers. Yeah, I agree with the Packers. I don't believe in Fields.
I'm not saying I don't believe in Fields. I just don't believe in the Bears beating the Packers.
I believe in A-Rod. I don't believe in Fields.
We got 2 Monday night games this week. First up being the Titans at Bills.
Yeah.
Bills. Need I say more?
Yeah. I think we don't need to.
And Buffalo too. They gonna be jumping through tables and all type of shit.
Yeah, Bills. And sidebar, I mess with the Bills fan base, yo. I rocks with them, yo.
I mean, they're kind of real fans for going to the Super Bowl 4 times.
Nah, I feel you. But if they're the fan base that if somebody's going through something, like they do a GoFundMe and they
definitely do.
Yo.
Right.
I rock with them.
They are also what we were talking about last week, the only New York team that plays in New York.
Yeah, right.
That is true.
Dave, you been writing down Gary's
New York
picks?
team. They're the only ones that play in
New York.
This is true.
You been writing down Gary's pick, Dave?
Oh, what was it?
No,
no, I didn't. I'll go back to the chat.
Look on the comments. All his picks are on there.
Yeah.
Bills.
Okay.
Bills know. And the second Monday night game. So these games are starting roughly about an hour apart. Vikings at Eagles.
This is interesting. Are they gonna keep this up?
I don't know. They tend to do this. I thought he was gonna do it week 1, but they tend to do this like in the early part of the season.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be week 1 too, and they didn't.
They playing in Philly, but this Minnesota team is different since they got rid of Zimmer. I got the Vikings, man.
This Eagles team, I just like this Eagles team for some reason. I mean, I ain't a fan of them, but I like them. I'm going with the Eagles.
I don't know because I don't know about this coach. I'm gonna go with the Vikings, bro. Kirk Cousins.
I am going to go with those Vikings.
Kurt going for 5,000 yards this year. What you got? What you got in the chat there?
We got Vikings. So I'll go back through and get the other ones.
I'm gonna keep the music going. So we got all our weekly picks in though. So this year we started something new. Is what our Madden says.
Question.
Right, what's that?
So are we not doing the Thursday games?
No, because we come on afterwards.
We come on.
Yeah, afterwards. I know. So why are we picking the Thursday games now?
We can do that next week if you want. But that's week 3 though. This is week 2.
I mean, I get that. I mean, at the end of the day, the points are still going to be the points. I mean, it's not like this person won week 1, so they, this person won week 2. At the end of it is who won, who got the best record from the whole year. So, I mean, if we're going to add the Thursdays, and we can just pick the Thursdays, when we do this. It'll all end up catching up in the end. It's going to be the same thing when we get to Thanksgiving. We're going to have to pick the 2 Thanksgiving games in advance.
True. We can discuss it. We can put it in there. This is picks. And we can do it in there. I keep the music going. So we did this year. We added our different parts since we just started playing Madden 23. Of course, and again, it's been good so far. So now what we did is incorporate something that this year to see how Madden is picking these games. So of course, there's different injuries and stuff like that that's going on. So it's not a perfect science. It's just a fun thing that we're doing. So our Madden says this week, these are our winners. Don't look at the scores, just look at the winners per se. So what we got? You guys can see. So we got Falcons over Rams, 49ers over Seahawks. But this is the one I'm picking out. This is the second week in a row. Texans over the Broncos. This happened last week as well. I generated this last night, and this is week 2.
You said Falcons over the Rams.
I don't that says Rams
over Falcons.
Rams.
I'm tripping.
I was like,
Rams over Falcons. 49ers over Seahawks.
Granted, it says the Cowboys over the Bengals.
Right.
Sure enough does.
Right, it does.
Did they know that he got injured?
He's injured. He's on. I had to go through and do some finagling and take people out of games.
And they still got the Cowboys or the Bengals. Wow.
Right. But but
look at that score.
If you played Madden though, they always, even when we play against Madden ourselves,
they love them from Cowboys.
They love the Cowboys for some reason.
Bro, they got Cooper Rush and the Cowboys going 40-some points.
Right.
Word.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But again, the thing that stands out is that Texans Broncos result. Last week, the generated aspect picked the Texans as well, and they damn near pulled it off. They ended up in a tie. So we're gonna see what it looks like this week. You got Raiders over Cardinals, Packers over Bears, Titans over the Bills, Vikings over the Eagles. The Chiefs game had already happened, so they got that right. Ravens over Dolphins, Browns over Jets, Commanders over the Lions, Jags over the Colts. All right then.
Hey, wait a minute. Am I looking at something wrong here? So it says they got Commanders over the Lions, right?
Right.
But maybe it's just my maybe it's just my screen. But it looks like it says the Washington has 25 and Detroit has 28.
No, it's right. Oh shit, I put that on the wrong side. My bad.
Isn't that what it is? Am I seeing the score wrong?
Yeah, it was late.
You just trying to make the Commanders be
It was late when I did it.
Good job.
It was late when I did it. So
that's what I'm talking about.
It was late when I did it. My bad. Good catch, Eric. Good catch. It looked like a 0, but when it's 12 o'clock at night, I got
excuses.
Shut your face.
Giants
over Panthers and Patriots over Steelers.
Yeah, use the monuments of nothingness. And he specializes.
I just like
self-incapable of anything. Excuses. Sorry.
Not a big brother.
Nope, he not. But they ain't had that at IDTC college.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I shouldn't even walked into that.
I just like him so much, man. So this is our picks for the week, man. This is another week 2 of the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk. Make sure you guys tap in with us each week, 9:30ish on Sundays, as we give our picks, our insights on college and NFL football, and all other random things that we go to. And let's not get out of here before we run this back for you one more time. You see, I had it up here. Let's see. There we go. So you guys know. I don't know if Dave sees it at all.
I see it. Oh, yes. All day, every day. We're gonna get it out there.
Working on that bottling service, man. Working on that bottling service. We'll get it going, man.
Unofficial sponsor.
Right. So we want you guys to enjoy all the games, man. Make sure you get all your fancy lineups and everything put in. Enjoy yourselves, whether you're tailgating. Oh, and I want to talk about this too. If you guys didn't see the story, was it in our chat? Somebody pointed this out. Maybe it was something I just saw on Twitter. After week 1, it was at the Patriots. Oh, shoot. Who did they play first week? Patriots played someone, and I can't remember. But in any case, and I should have had the picture, man, up. So someone left their grill on in the parking lot.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
And it burned 4 cars completely, and it damaged 2 others.
Patriots played the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins. So I think it was at that game? If I think that was the game that I saw the picture for. But in any case, man, make sure that you're tailgating responsibly. Making sure if you're using coal, I know at FedEx Field, and I think even at Giant Stadium, they have a place where you can dispose of hot coal.
Yeah, but you don't. We dispose it right on the ground.
And this is exactly why the cars end up getting tore up like it was.
But you know, the funny thing is that is another reason why I didn't go into the game yesterday, because I was scared for that. But I mean, if you're supposed to make sure like you put out the fire, you know, the coals like
right, man,
are cooling down before you go in the game. You know what I'm saying? But they stupid.
Yeah, they're even if you're using gas, make sure all your stuff is turned off, bro. Make sure that and whatever you're doing.
Stop with the welfare money. Too soon? Go ahead.
Not too soon at all. Not too soon.
How do we get down to some Mississippi talk?
Right.
Hey, look, you see that story? That's $5 million welfare money.
Ain't that a Tuesday conversation?
It could be. We'll talk about that.
It will be.
It will be.
Malik, tune in.
Yeah, you lying. But for real, but make sure you guys are tailgating responsibly, man.
Malik, call in on Tuesday.
We talk about that too. And that's it for us, man. Of course, Hot Tea Podcast presents Football Talk. Enjoy your Sunday and your multiple Monday night games tomorrow night. You got Giants, Ravens, Commanders, Washington Football Team, Redskins, whatever we call them now. I don't know.
Doubles.
Yo, we out, bro.